What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Geekdom Gamescast, episode number 39A. We are here, me, Moody, and Patrick, old timers, good timers. We're going to talk about all the E3 news we've seen so far. I should put a note on this. We are recording Monday, June 14th at 7:48 p.m. So if we miss any stuff, we're going to talk about. We obviously have seen Square Enix, but we're going to talk about that later with our Weeby friends. We want to stick with Ubisoft and Xbox, as Xbox was big anyways. But as of now, guys, how are you feeling in general about E3?
Yeah.
No. I was quiet because I didn't want to.
No, that's exactly I think that's exactly what Patrick feels, right?
I mean, I was kind of quiet waiting for him too, but I'm just like at the same time, like, short of, I hate to say it, short of Xbox and kind of Ubisoft, there really wasn't anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of.
You mean Bethesda?
Flat. Well, Xbox, Bethesda.
You said Ubisoft. They didn't. Ubisoft was bad. We're gonna talk about that.
I didn't think it was that bad to me. I mean, it was.
Yeah. So
I think it was better than most.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that in a bit. Moody, what are you thinking? How are you feeling?
Today, I'll reiterate what I posted today on the Geekdom Gamescast group. Today was the worst day historically in E3. It was a bunch of Zoom presentations that didn't reveal hardly anything. Capcom revealed a couple games. We can talk about those tomorrow if we want. It was just like this long list of like mobile things, and it was all PR stuff, corporate stuff, some of it, social stuff. But as far as just gaming, like this was not an E3 day, but there were some deep dive stuff into Xbox and Bethesda today. So we learned a lot more about the games that were revealed yesterday. So that was good. But other than that, it was not an E3 at all. So
I agree with y'all. I feel like the two conferences we're talking about today were the only ones that even bothered to have a stage, which no one asked for, but like they're at least trying to do like the traditional E3 thing.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone else is kind of doing what they did last year with like direct type videos where it's just a presentation edited together all clean, slick, and it's a fun video to watch, but doesn't have that same energy. Let's get into it before more news comes out and we're already dated. We'll start with Ubisoft because there's already contention between you two about how good this was. They started off.
Clear. The presentation wasn't like woo, but like they had some good games. Like
they did. Yeah, they did.
Was one of the good games you're all talking about Rainbow Six Extraction. This is formerly Rainbow Six Quarantine, obviously changed because of the world. And this is kind of something they did in Siege, and then they're extrapolating it. It's 1 to 3 players co-op. A lot of games are coming out like this soon. Back for Blood, we're going to talk about. I think they're doing some DLC content for World War Z. So this is kind of like a, like this genre is like kind of back in a little way. Patrick, are you going to check this out as a resident? You seem to play the most co-op and online with people, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good to me. I mean, admittedly, I actually was one of the group of people I played games with. I was like the first person to grab Rainbow Six, and then I became the last person to even play it, or to even want to play it, I should say. Actually, let me rephrase that better. Like, I could pick it up first, and then I wasn't the last person to play. Like, I like kind of faded off before everyone else because I was like, it just got way too sweaty and stuff. But to see them bring it to a sort of like Division / Ghost Recon type of setting, like, gameplay style, like I was like, it's pretty decent. Like I was watching the gameplay and I was like, seems pretty solid. I mean, it took them 3 name changes, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Moody, are you gonna check this out at all? You're not even a co-op guy.
Well, no, I am a co-op guy. I'm not a PvP person. So yeah, I was happy about the multiplayer games that were announced here. They look awesome. They look fun. If we can all jump on. I'm not sure. Is this cross-platform? Do you have to be on Xbox together, or can you play?
I don't believe we've been told yet, but that seems to be like the new trend happening. So we can only hope.
Right, because this comes out September 16th. I'm not sure if I will have a Series X by then, but I hope to get one this fall after what we saw. So it goes to show
When
you
it's
how happy.
$2.99.
Yeah, what's it for $2.99?
When it's $2.99.
Because you're Venmoing me 200, so then it'll be yeah. But
I'll
anyway,
eat this
look,
microphone if it becomes $2.99 by September.
it looks fun. I like alien stuff, man, and it looks a lot better than that damn Alien game that we got 5 or 6, 7, 8 years. Remember that thing at E3?
There's another one coming too. They keep trying to do stuff with that franchise and the Predator franchise.
Colonial Marines.
Yeah,
Is that you're thinking of?
Yeah,
That was
there
pretty
you
bad.
go. Well, hey, look, this is a 1 to 3 player co-op, which means I can play alone. So with bots, I guess, and then if not, I could play with you two guys. So that'll be a lot of fun against the alien hives, and I guess it's 12 maps, 18 characters from Rainbow Six. So it seems fun. It doesn't seem like a full game. I actually just checked the price, and the regular edition $60, so it's not quite 70. But I think a game like this probably should be a little cheaper because it doesn't seem like a full experience without, like, I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe there's more that we don't know about it yet.
Yeah, I mean, I always admired the gameplay of Rainbow Six Siege, but like Patrick said, it was too sweaty for me. I always got way too anxious getting into a lobby, not knowing what the hell to do. But I like that they kept the tactics and stuff. The aliens look a little generic, but that's fine. I'm sure they're holding back their best stuff, hopefully. It's good to have some games in the fall when we thought that COVID destroyed all fall releases. So we got a lot of fall games announced at E3, which is really cool.
Yep, definitely.
So that's Rainbow Six Extraction. They want to know other stuff, but let's skip ahead to the surprise that got leaked, like a lot of games. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope is coming out. This is more Mario and Rabbids. They took out the grid, but they're going with a galaxy thing. I never played Mario and Rabbids. Moody, I believe you did though, right?
Yeah, it's a long game for a Mario game. It feels twice as long as Odyssey, but in a good way. I mean, it's real good. I still haven't finished the regular one. I know there's Donkey Kong Country DLC that kind of has merged into what we have now with Sparks of Hope. So, like you mentioned, getting rid of those tile-to-tile kind of grids and kind of giving more space to the player, but it's still going to be like tactical turn-based. So they haven't totally changed it. It's not going to be like a platform and action game or anything like that, but they've added new real-time stuff, like the bob-ombs are going to be there. So you can kind of they'll be roaming around and you got to pick them up and throw them quickly before you blow yourself up and stuff. So yeah, I mean, and it's in space this time, a lot of planets. So should be a lot of fun. A lot of space stuff in E3 this year, right? We're going to space in almost every game. So.
There is a lot of space stuff. Other than that, Ubisoft had they announced a bunch of little things here and there, including that Brawlhalla is going to get a TMNT crossover. I haven't played Brawlhalla since it was in early access a long ass time ago. It's a platform fighter, much like Smash Bros. And the TMNT characters look kind of cute. But I don't know.
I like it.
I have the game on Steam. I don't know if I'll go back to it, but maybe for my boys I will. For Donnie, Mikey, Raffin, Leo. My boys. We didn't have this on the notes, but I do want to mention, speaking of space, I guess Massive is doing a Pandora Avatar game. That movie that no one remembers, but is going to be shoved down our throats by James Cameron in a couple years. Again, with his 4 sequels on the Snowdrop engine. It's going to be a first person. They showed in-engine stuff, but not too much gameplay stuff. But according to press releases, it's going to be a first person open world immersive thing, as Ubisoft does and as the developers of the Division do. Are either of you, is this gonna be not even a day one but a Q1 buy for you? Are you gonna get this at full price at all, depending on what it is? Is there a chance in hell do you guys think this is actually kind of amazing?
To people who love Avatar and who are crying that the place wasn't real back when the movie came out, sure. I remember that crap.
Oh my God,
this game
totally
to me is
that.
10 years late.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just.
I wish I could visit Pandora. I mean,
so are his sequels. I mean, didn't he already finish filming 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah,
With
that's
Something
all.
like that.
That's what he said. He said he was filming all through COVID. He's one of the first productions to come back. So, I mean, I'm sure it's not hard to do because he's like, it's all like green screen and stuff. So it's not a lot of like crowd and
Right.
real time.
I'll say this to all the people who are Avatar fans, I'm glad you got a game. I'm glad they're making movies, because everyone deserves their happiness. And just for me, this is just not even $10. I don't think I'd touch it. I have no like excitement for Avatar. I remember when that movie came out and I saw it, I think in theater just for the 3D part, and I go, like, okay, like that was interesting, but it wasn't not like an impressive story at all. It just wasn't.
No,
And
it
like,
was.
so I'm
It
like, I don't
was.
understand how people got so involved in that.
It was. It really was Fern Gully and just dances with wolves and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, but we'll get to revisit that.
So James Cameron directed my favorite nerd movie of all time, Terminator 2, and I love
Yeah.
Terminator almost just as much, the original one as well. And
T2 is the best.
I've never watched Avatar, and I don't know if I will. But I will say this about this was a good way to end. If they weren't going to show, like we said, they didn't show Beyond Good and Evil 2. They weren't going to show Splinter Cell, as we all know. It's water cooler talk. It's something to talk about. I mean, I don't know how I missed it on the notes, but it was a good way to finish. It was a splash with it's polarizing, but it's a name thing. It's a big thing. So, I mean, I'll give them credit for kind of finishing on a little bit of a bang. So regardless if it's a decade later or not. So.
I mean, I think people were, surprised genuinely by it. I'm not sure how much like actual people care, especially considering Massive was announced that they're working on a Star Wars thing, like which more people care about. So this is a weird one, but it could be surprising, just like it was in this presentation. And the other big thing they kind of showed, which I saved for last because it also comes up in the other conference that we're going to talk about, is Far Cry 6. On this particular conference that they showed like a dark scene where like they're trying to stow away somewhere, and we get a good scene of Giancarlo Esposito coming in and threatening everyone and killing grandmas, and and then finding his son who's there, and it's really dark and really just like a really cinematic moment, which is kind of juxtaposed with the Xbox video. But they also in this one talk more about the villains DLC that they're doing, where it's like a nightmare thing where like we're gonna be able to play as Voss and Pagan Min and Joseph Seed. All those guys are coming back, and we're going to be able to play as them seemingly in those games, in those environments from what they showed us. But other than that, do we ever get any real gameplay or any explanation other than that trailer of what that's going to be?
From what I know, it seems like it's going to be 3 separate little stories, but they probably will intertwine. I know Vaz, am I saying this right? Pagan Min and Joseph Seed from 3, 4, and 5. I think they will interact in their stories, but from what I read or found out is like there's going to be 3 different little stories, vignettes there, and they'll all intertwine. I don't know what the gameplay is like. People think it's going to be some kind of reality, nightmarish reality control kind of thing. So we'll see. I mean, we knew what we were getting with Far Cry 6, and then they kind of dropped, I mean, again, another bomb with this DLC. And best of all, Blood Dragon. Hopefully it's remastered though. We don't know, but if it is, this is an awesome season pass. It seems like one. So
yeah, that's another one. I'm sure like at the time, like regardless of how it did at the time, I'm sure there's more fans that came to the series that should check out Blood Dragon. It's a fun little. You're talking about Terminator franchise. Michael Biehn is the protagonist, and it's a very like 80s action movie send up.
Yeah.
More so of Alien, I guess, and
very
like that,
John Carpenter, like kind of like They Live and that kind of stuff. All Kurt Russell stuff,
And they got blood dragons, which basically are Tyrannosaurus Rexes. So if you miss dinosaurs in video games and you can't get enough because obviously there's not a lot, check out Blood Dragon. But
it's a cult smash. It's worth it. It's worth your time. I loved it.
Patrick, was there anything in the Ubisoft thing that really caught your eye that you got excited about? that we haven't talked about yet?
The one I'll just kind of mention, which was I'll say it because it was a surprise. I actually was surprised by it, and I think the community that I'm part of that's is about as surprised. Like, so I stream Rocksmith, and the last time they made a Rocksmith was 2014, and for them to release anything new about it was a surprise. Actually, the Discord I was in was actually like, hey, like we're gonna have a separate channel if you want to talk about it because we don't want anyone like spoiling anything like that. So then like I was like, no way they're gonna do anything Rocksmith, and then they did. It's called Rocksmith Plus. The most I know about it because I really didn't catch the whole. Like I watched the trailer and thing or whatever, but it sounds like at least I'm hoping you can use the original USB connection which plugged into your guitar, which is what I like. But they also have this whole idea that you put your phone next to your guitar and it listens to that and then Bluetooths it to your computer or something. I have no fucking idea on that one, honestly. So
yeah, because they were showing acoustic guitars, so that
yeah,
would be the
and it's
only
great
way they
for
could
that, but I don't want to I don't want that to be my way of doing it. I want to just plug the thing in to get the actual. But supposedly it's, I mean, it looks interesting. They changed the layout. Usually it's just a straight stream of the notes coming at you. They kind of did that, but then below it they've got like a side version of it, so you can see what you're playing. You can select areas, and they're doing it like basically a service that's supposed to be like a teaching method. So it's kind of cool. But the community is just kind of worried about whether we're going to lose that. We're going to be able to bring all our music back over to that, but
oh yeah, that's right.
See. That's kind of the tough.
Did it help you learn guitar?
I would say it's Rocksmith isn't a way to. I would say it's good at teaching you how to use a guitar,
Oh, okay.
but not like be like, oh, I've played all these music, I can go make my own songs now. Like to a point, yes, but no, it's more about like knowing how to like strum and do that. Like I've gotten better at like strumming and whatnot, but yeah, that's pretty much what it's good for.
So I won't become Jimmy Page, but it'll help me get there. Kind of, I guess. That's cool. Yeah, that's coming out too. So, another revival of a 6-7-year-old franchise. Cool.
Yeah, I was almost surprised they didn't bring out like Rock Band or something or whatever. Like I'm surprised that didn't get mentioned somewhere.
Shout out Fuser talking about harmonics and Rock Band. More people should play that. Anyways, Xbox and Bethesda.
Oh, hold on, Mike. So I wasn't going to do it, but since it's just us three, let's do some quick whiskey scores for Ubisoft. Why not?
Oh, okay. Sure. Let's start with you then, since you brought it up.
Boom! I'm going to go 275. It felt incomplete, like many of the other pressers. And this is actually, I mean, you guys can give your score, but this is kind of a good segue because Xbox just announced that they're doing another showcase called Extended for June 17th, and that's at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So they're going to have conversations with Double Fine, Obsidian, Ninja Theory, Rare. So it seems like a lot of the games that they were missing that nobody complained about because it was so good, we might even see. But the other people, Ubisoft, Square Enix, it was like a half a show and we haven't gotten any announcement for those. So that's why I'm going to kind of like split it in half. So 275.
Yeah, I'll probably go with a 2.5 because I just don't play a lot of these games. Like they talked about Valhalla stuff and I talked about it earlier on the show. I think I discovered Assassin's Creed isn't my thing. I like Far Cry, but I don't think they put their best Far Cry foot forward. I think Microsoft did that, ironically. And then haven't played Mario Rabbids. I'm not down to play. I just never got around to it that first time. So there's just no meat on that old bone for old Mikey. But Patrick, what about you? We're two different people. How about you?
I'll agree. Like a 2.75/3 for the games. The presentation's like a 1. 1.5.
Like always.
It just wasn't anything there.
The presentation wasn't great, but yeah,
there's some interesting games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Just Dance made an appearance as always. There's a new dancer. I have no idea who that is. Cool though.
Yeah. It's just a lot of live service stuff, and I guess and it's gonna always be polarizing because not everyone is gonna play all those live service games. So you might, even if you're into For Honor and you're happy that they're doing it, or Rainbow Six Siege, or Watch Dogs Legion, or whatever, all these games that they keep supporting, which is amazing. It's wonderful to keep these games alive. You're not going to play them all. So you're going to be like, don't care about that. Don't care about that. Because there's only so much time you have to like certain things. So it's hard to please everyone with these Ubisoft things that they're doing.
I think I talked about it on the last episode, but yeah, Ubisoft does feel like the Yum Brands of video games. So Yum Brands does Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. So it feels like, you know, Assassin's Creed is their Taco Bell. They change it up every once in a while. Far Cry's their Pizza Hut, a little bit cooler, a little bit greasier,
Yep.
but it's still the same old stuff, but just change toppings every once in a while. And I think Yum Brands owns Dunkin' Donuts, maybe. So we'll give Dunkin' Donuts to Watch Dogs. You know, Watch Dogs, cops, donuts. There we go. there's the metaphor. I don't know if Yum Brands owns Dunkin' Donuts. Please don't come at me because I don't give a shit. Because we're gonna move on to Xbox and Bethesda, which was a really cool conference. Spoiler alert: I thought it was a pretty cool conference, and it all started off with a game that everyone was like so hyped about, and Starfield. We got a release date. Probably the biggest news from that, besides the little cinematic trailer we got. Todd Howard was there himself to talk about how it's Skyrim in space, Han Solo simulator, 300 years in the future. It is their first new IP in 25 years, which we all knew, but saying it out loud is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And the vibe seems interesting. And other than that, are you guys more hyped, less hyped? What's going on with?
Go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead.
Feel?
I'll say the same. I'm my hype hasn't changed only because we haven't seen really much. They kind of gave some stuff with cinematic footage. We've gotten more of an understanding, like you said, Skyrim in space, which is fine. I mean, at least it's not Fallout 76 in space, so that's a plus on things. But at the same time, I feel like
I'm knocking on wood so hard right now.
But at the same time, I'm like a space adventure. Like I kind of wish I could play with people, so I'm torn.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great. Graphically, it looks like they at least ditched the old engine, or at least they're tricking us to make they ditch the old engine.
Patrick, Bethesda, no more playing with people. We've already learned that lesson.
Hey, Elder Scrolls Online is good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean they're supporting those games as well. But yeah, we learned actually a lot about this today. A lot of interviews with Todd Howard. So he talked about this group. There's groups of factions, and the main faction's called Constellation, and you're kind of space explorers. So this is more SpaceX, Elon Musk than Star Wars or anything like that. Now they said there is going to be aliens, but I'm expecting like interstellar, like more realistic, NASA meets Indiana Jones kind of thing, more realistic space. So not quite Mass Effect, if that's what people are thinking. So it's not going to be totally sci-fi. It'll have those elements. He said there's still going to be like laser guns. It's going to have all the charm and the characterization, from Bethesda. It's not going to be a total, it's not a space sim or anything like that. So there's going to be a lot of fun there. A lot of trouble in paradise, of course. So, it'll still be an adventure. And he said there's going to be hardcore RPG elements. So he wanted to go back to the roots.
What you would hope from Bethesda, right?
Yep. The roots that they had originally. Because, I mean, I love Fallout 4, one of my favorite games of all time, but people complained how actiony it was, and it strayed away from a lot of the deep RPG stuff that the previous games had. So they're kind of going to go back with that. So, I mean, there's a whole lot of detail today. So
Moody, when would you guess we see the first gameplay trailer of this?
E3 2022.
You think so?
No, damn. I'm just kidding. No, okay. Totally joking. Let's see. So it's June. This fall. I think we'll see it might be, I don't think we'll see the full 15-minute gameplay like we saw in Halo and Forza, but I think we'll get 6 or 7 minutes of stuff. I mean, if it's not coming out for a year and a few months, but I think that's still relatively soon compared to Elder Scrolls, which is probably coming out Elder Scrolls
25.
24, 25. So
that's nice.
I'm excited for this game, even though I don't know what it is. But just that trailer looked a little more. We talked about how we wanted the engine to be a little more updated, and there's no evidence of that really in the trailer. But it seems like they're trying to take a next gen approach. And the big thing that excites me is it's going to be on Game Pass, which we figured it was going to be, but Just Microsoft's whole thing of like 27 of the 30 games they showed are going to be on Game Pass is really exciting, really cool, super awesome, and it's like day one Game Pass too. So all that stuff is going to be super awesome.
It's an Xbox
And
exclusive.
it's a console exclusive. So
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
I'm glad AMC stock went up so I could buy my Series X. So don't be jealous.
Yep.
I will say, I'm going to skip ahead to another trailer. I will say that it's good that they put that the Starfield trailer super far away from the Outer Worlds trailer. Outer Worlds 2 was announced coming out, Obsidian, because the Outer Worlds trailer basically just made fun of trailers like Starfield and like super serious games.
Yeah.
They basically made fun of the fact that they don't know, they have no gameplay, they have no designs. They were poking fun about like how dramatic the trailers are, like a running shot and stuff, and so we don't know anything about it, but they, hilariously said that they don't know anything about it, and we're honest with us, which is really cool. And it's funny that it's like Obsidian and Bethesda like making those two opposite sides of the coin because that's like not a rivalry per se, but kind of like sisters or like cousin companies, kind of, because they did
Punch on the shoulder cousins, like, yeah.
yeah. And then and for like new IP that they made before being acquired by Microsoft, like basically they're on the tail end before they got acquired. It was a pretty big and meaty game. So like I feel like Outer Worlds 2, like people were kind of disappointed about the length and like the lack of like a bigger budget for the Outer Worlds one. So I'm guessing that it's gonna be a thing where like 2 is like amazing, like Mass Effect 2. Like it's just gonna be bigger and hopefully satisfy a lot of those like complaints that people said. So we'll look out for that.
The Outer Worlds was a really good start, though. Really good start. Yeah, it wasn't like a classic game or great, but it was well loved overall. So
yeah. So let's see what happens when they got money.
and this might have been the best trailer of all E3 so far. A lot of people are loving it. Just for the if you're just counting 1 minute things, people are loving it. So it's really clever.
Let's go back to the order of the notes. Redfall was announced at the end of the conference, and this is the new thing by Arcane, who did Prey and Dishonored, which I would say not a lot of people played, but the people that played them loved them. Right? Would you say, Moody, you're one of those people that loved the Dishonored series?
Yeah, I never got into Prey. I got mixed. The new one, like the reimagining Prey, got kind of mixed reviews, and I guess after a while it got good. And it's really cheap now, or on Game Pass or something.
I think it's on Game Pass.
I think before Redfall drops, I'm want to dig into Prey. So this is, I guess, going to be open world, single, and co-op at the same time. I worry about stuff like that. It reminds me of Destiny. So I have kind of problems with it, but the art style, we don't know what the gameplay is, but the characters are really colorful. The style, it seems kind of very creative, and Arcane, like, has a good resume. Dishonored is a lot of fun if you like steampunk stuff and you like stealth games. I mean, I'm not a super stealth person, but there's so many different ways to stealth around in those worlds, and it was a lot of powers, and that's the thing. They have crazy abilities in Dishonored. You could take down people 10 different ways, and it wasn't boring stealth like creep behind them and choke them and that's it. No, there was like set traps and magic and all that. It was great. So if they kind of throw that into this vampire world, it should be a lot of fun. So
yeah, based on the video, if they were using the animation and the video to kind of tease out how the game is going to be, like the fact that they comboed the UV ray that froze the vampire with a stake that killed the vampire, stuff like that would be really cool. If that's in fact what they're thinking of doing, which, like from what I've heard of Dishonored, like you were saying, especially from you and other people, how they get creative with the stuff like that, that seems like what they're doing. And that's really cool.
Day one Game Pass, baby. Xbox exclusive, Bethesda. They're doing it. Finally. Yep. We weren't sure, right? We weren't entirely sure. And now I think we know. I mean, they could still put Elder Scrolls on PlayStation if the sales of these games the Game Pass downloads or subscriptions aren't that great. So they're leaving that open. They haven't said all games yet from Bethesda are exclusive, but 2 for 2 so far. So
2 big ones.
2 big ones.
And speaking of big ones,
Oh, one more note though.
what's that?
Redfall, Massachusetts, that's not a thing. So
Yeah, it's a fake town, right?
yeah. Had to squeeze that in, of course. Well, Red Sox, they won
He's
today.
like, God, we get the correction in there.
Yeah.
Speaking of big things, Halo Infinite finally. It's here. It's right here. Yep,
Look at
it's right there.
Patrick.
It's right there.
The left
Right there, and then right here
Yeah.
we saw a cinematic from it, and then a little tease of the multiplayer, and then we saw more today. Right, Moody? You saw more today of stuff.
Yeah, so the first, I'll let you guys talk about the campaign part. It kind of came on, and it was kind of the whole, reflecting on Cortana and everything. And I wasn't that impressed, but I was like, okay, well, Halo fans are just going to like this anyway. And people who hate Xbox Halo are not going to like it and talk shit and whatever. And then they showed the multiplayer, and I was like, this looks good, but it looks like Titanfall, and it's kind of, we've been there. Then I
We got
rewatched
grappling
it.
hooks now.
Yeah, exactly. But then I rewatched a lot of the big trailers in 4K, and God, it makes a difference. If you have a smart TV, you have YouTube or whatever, like, watch some of these trailers in 4K. It's like, I wish they could stream. They could, but they don't. I wish they could stream all this stuff in 4K because it doesn't do it justice. When you watch it, it's compressed 1080. It looks awful. It's very blurry. I mean, Patrick's more of a tech guy than me. Maybe he could speak on that. But I mean,
Patrick, one of the things that they were like really emphasizing is that this is the campaign and multiplayer is kind of like they're calling it out separately. They're saying because the multiplayer is going to be free to play for people. I guess people who don't have Games Pass who have an Xbox, which is why would you do that? Get an Xbox for Games Pass, and then you will have this for free. But if you don't have it, or if you have a PC, I guess, and you want to play it, it's going to be for free. What do you think that's going to be like for the community, Patrick?
Smart.
Okay, cool.
Actually, a buddy of mine brought that up, and I was like, "That's actually an intelligent move." And I'm like, my theory on why they did this is the same reason why Fortnite's multiplayer thing is its own separate thing from the main. It's free. Warzone is its own separate thing. I think it's free, isn't it now? Warzone?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's intelligent. Not only because you get people that don't want to play Game Pass, which whatever. We had someone we argued with that you can get Game Pass Ultimate for 3 months for $1, and he whined about it because then you have to remember to turn it off in 3 months. And we're like, you just turn off auto renew. It's $1.
Yeah.
It's worth
You
it for
turn
all
off
the
auto
games you're
renew
getting.
automatically. Like just right after you sign up, you could turn it off.
Yeah, like the 5 minutes
the minute
it takes.
after, and like it will not, and you'll still get the 3 months.
Yeah, even a minute. Like it takes a minute to sign up, pay the $1, and then turn off auto renew, and you have 3 months of a ton of games. But like it's smart for all the people who don't want to fuss with that. Whatever the case is, you got this free game that brings in a community of people like who might not have wanted to play Halo and don't want to pay for it. Now they can. They just pick it up, play it, whatever. If you're on PC, you can just pick up, play it, whatever. It's easy, it's simple. Plus, even better is, in Fortnite's I think the better example because Warzone hasn't quite got there. They're about to, and unfortunately, it's going to derail because of their choices. But that's a whole different topic. Call of Duty going World War II is really freaking stupid this year. That's all I'm gonna say. No one wants it. but the idea is like multiplayer. It's its own thing now. So when Halo 7 comes out, it's still multiplayer over here doing this, and it grabs parts of 7. Halo 8 comes out, same thing. Like you don't have to be like, oh, do I want to play Halo 6 with my buddies or Halo 7? Like you're just playing Halo multiplayer. Just straight up, just keep playing.
Yeah, because as of
Warzone
now,
is genius.
As of now, the Master Chief Collection, you could play each title's multiplayer separately, which is kind of confusing and splits up the base, right?
Yep.
So like
no more player separation.
They're adding all these cool stuff. Like there's a Doomsday mechanic where your vehicle catches on fire. You got new vehicles like the Razorback, which has turrets and fusion coils and stuff. Pelicans are going to drop off stuff. It feels bigger, which I think we're all excited from the days. I don't know if you guys did. I'm guessing Patrick might have from the days of hauling your CRT TVs to your friends' houses and landing Xbox, original Xboxes together to play Halo. Like we all wanted huge things, like huge battles like that. and it looks like we're getting it now. So, and Moody, there's going to be a Halo Academy with like training with bots and stuff. So I
That's
know
up my
that's
alley. Yeah.
I know
He's
that's
like, yeah.
that's kind of your NBA G League to like get warmed up for all the youngins, right?
Yeah, I loved what is it? It's Warzone for Halo as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're not talking about just Call of Duty.
I
What is
forgot what
that?
it was called. I know what you're talking about from 5, right?
Yeah, I
That
you know
that
I
little
Oh, the big
mode.
battle.
the
Mhm.
What'd they
big
call
battle.
that? Was it
So
called Big Battle?
it almost feels like it was like something Warzone.
It was big. You're right.
So I really enjoyed that and stay on it because I'm more of an RPG kind of player or whatever, campaign guy. But I loved the hell out of it, and I mean I like what they did with the customization here, like all the different vehicles, and you can kind of change the armor coatings and the emblems effects and stuff. So that's really
That
cool.
samurai helmet looks
Dude,
badass. That one was really cool.
And
Talking
the
about
best thing is you have to like earn that shit. There's no loot boxes. Like you can buy a Halo battle pass, but then you could take your battle pass to the next season. So like say like there's next year, you could choose which battle pass you want to use. So you're not like stuck. It's not going to be old and defunct, and they're not forcing you to buy one over again, but you can because it's going to have updated, cosmetics and customization stuff. So but yeah, the armor cores, like you said, the samurai one, you have to earn that through gameplay for free. So that's really cool. And
That's cool.
split screen's back. They kind of barely mentioned it in a blog, but the split screen, and a lot of us have 60, 70-inch TVs now. So you could definitely, with the graphics we got, you could definitely play couch co-op in this and have a blast. So
I bet split screen's better with SSDs somehow. Anyways, I don't quote me in it. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I have a theory. But other than that, we're probably going to learn more about Infinite as it comes out, which they're still saying 2021, right?
and
Holiday
supposedly this
2021?
whole 20 holiday 2021, this whole week they're supposed to be talking about Halo. So as by the time you watch this, you might already know way more about the campaign than we do already right now, because that's the one thing. I said this on the previous show. They have to go full out with Halo, but I think what they are, but they're just kind of like giving us little bits, and they have to show Bethesda games, so they can't really give us 40 minutes of Halo. They gave us 10 minutes or 8 minutes because they have a lot of stuff now. So every day they're giving us bits and pieces, which I think is, with digital media, it's the way to go.
Smart.
And so it'll be an interesting week following Halo and see what we get from there. So far so great. Watch in 4K. I'm telling you, it's that multiplayer trailer in 4K is unreal. It's so good.
I will be trying to beat the entire franchise before 5. I don't think, or before Infinite comes out. Let's see how that goes, because I already am behind on my backlog and shit. So
Combat
That means I have to
Evolved
play
alone.
one against the Flood. I hate the Flood.
I might skip one because that one I remember really vividly, but
It's long.
I don't remember 3, and I haven't played 4, Reach, ODST, and I was not paying attention for 4. I think I don't remember.
Oh, Reach is fun and 3's great. So yeah, definitely.
And then besides Master Chief, we also got our cars, another mascot of the Xbox universe. Cool cars. Forza Horizon 5. This is going to be in Mexico, which is really cool. We're going to get to be in Mexico without like fucking dealing drugs or dealing with the cartel. We just get to enjoy the beauty of Mexico, which we never get to do in video games, which is cool. There's a new single player mode called Expeditions. We'll get to explore the world. There's a lot of cool mountain areas. The trailer seemed wild. A lot of like flying off cliffs over other people. They seem to emphasize a lot of cars on screen at one time, which would look really cool. Obviously, it looks gorgeous. Forza Horizon 4 is something that Moody, you really liked, and I'm actually getting back into as like a casual game if I don't want to dig into a story. So I'm pretty excited about this. Patrick, are you a big Forza guy?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see another. I'm glad another Forza's coming out. I wanted the regular one, but it's cool for some Forza 5. I would say the surprising thing to me, maybe I'm the only one, is the November release. They're usually like September.
Oh, I know, right? Do you think that's just a time situation? Like they just need more time?
Probably just give them extra time. I mean, it's weird because they're throwing that right after Halo. Like, why not throw that
That's true.
before?
That is true.
You know, not that there's a necessary like a battling of fans there, but there's gonna be the people that want to play Forza, and then Halo comes out, and they're like, "Oh, I've played enough Forza."
I feel like all three of us are in that group of people, right? That are gonna play both of them because I
You're
definitely
gonna be
wanna
like,
play
"Hey, look, I played Halo, but do I want to play Forza right now?"
it.
And we have that problem because they're both on day one Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned how crazy and wild the trailer was with all the racers, but the good news
That's
is we
cool.
learned again, like Halo, we learned a lot more about Forza today, and they're focusing on a single player mode actually called Expeditions. So they're the key to this Mexico and this beautiful journey is like exploring the world and kind of expanding on the festival journey. So in 4 in the UK, you kind of all just went to like let's all meet up at the festival. Like this one, they're kind of like you have your choice of like discovering new ways to expand this all over the area that they have. So, and there's a lot of cool street art that's done by local artists, like real ones and stuff. So
That's cool.
yeah.
That part's cool.
Oh, this part you guys might like is that they just announced today the event labs, and it's kind of like the Mario Maker, but Forza, and you could create. It's a full blown level editor. They don't hold your hand. You can kind of create and control anything you want here in events and stuff. So,
Like, if we can get this kind of track models that people do in GTA, I mean, that's gonna be amazing. I don't know if you've seen some of those. They go up into the freaking sky.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff. That stuff is crazy. I mean, I guess if you give the general audience like the ability to make shit, like we've all seen it in Dreams, like you said, like people make crazy shit.
Well, remember the Hot Wheels add-on?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Forza
had and Forza had the Lego thing, so that's cool too.
Yeah, but the Hot Wheels one blew that Lego one away.
Yeah, Hot Wheels was wild.
The Hot Wheels one was completely wild. Like it was like racing on a roller coaster.
Speaking about Forza, kind of reminds me that we didn't talk about Riders Republic during the Ubisoft conference, which is like, looks like a really nuts kind of same thing. Like they were trying to show as many people on the screen as once, and that's kind of like Steep, but with more summer sports and summer spring sports, where you have like your dirt biking. They showed dirt biking a lot, and dirt biking looks really cool. And then they showed crazy shit like the jetpack on the wingsuit, which was like, what? Like, there's probably, so I heard someone say it on some other podcast, but they're like, there's probably only like 5 people in the world that do that. But anyone could jetpack in a wingsuit on Riders Republic. So real quick shout out to that because we missed it during the Ubisoft.
It looked kind of like they let people fly those things through like canyons while other people are doing other sports too. I wonder if that's a thing.
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
Yeah, it looks like chaos in a kind of a fun way. I can't wait to play that. And Forza had that same vibe almost with like different cars on different tracks, jumping over each other and stuff, and like you're
and they're gonna have. I'm sorry to cut you off, but they're gonna have like extreme weather too. You know, it's Mexico, so there's gonna be volcanoes and stuff. And they said like when you're in the volcano, it's actually gonna be the highest peak ever in a Horizon game. Or Forza game, and you can see miles, like video game miles, like away, and like realistic real engine stuff, like the other side of the course. And then they also said it's kind of like how we are in California, like you can go to Big Bear and go skiing, and then go down to Malibu and go surfing in the same day. They're kind of reaching for that. They're saying like you're gonna have some blizzard action going up in the mountains, and then you can go down to the beach and it's like 100 degrees or whatever. So it's kind of like all in one take. So there's a lot going on here.
That's awesome. Those were pretty much the huge games that came out. Like we were talking about, they did show Far Cry 6, more Far Cry 6. I was telling Moody on the phone that trailer felt more like what Far Cry is than the trailer that Ubisoft put out, because it was just goofy as hell. Like there was like the rocket backpack, there was just like the stupid shit that you actually do in Far Cry. In that trailer, like the animals, they showed more of the animals and stuff. I was like, that's the Far Cry we all know, is where you're doing dumb shit and like being a jackass. It's becoming, rightfully so, it's becoming feeling like, I think they're leaning into the fact that they're more like Just Cause than they think they are, or than they wanted to admit before. But they kind of are now, which is really cool. And we still got to see more Gus Fring and stuff. So this time we didn't get to see the dog wheelchair on the ground. He was just in a truck which is a little bit of a bummer. I wanted to see that dog in the wheelchair one more time, but I guess I'll just play the game. We also got an announcement from Sea of Thieves crossing over with Disney. So we got Jack Sparrow's coming to Sea of Thieves. Patrick, you play Sea of Thieves. I didn't know it got all story, it got really narrative.
Oh yeah, for a while now.
Okay, cool.
So they've in the first year that they even had like a book and everything to kind of give some backstory on parts of it, and more so lately they've in the last year or so they've given a lot more of the story. And actually people when they're posting on Twitter in response to this, like, so what happened to Captain Flameheart, like all these characters we've already gotten used to, like Stitcher Jim, like what about them now? Like we haven't heard anything about them lately. So people are actually still wondering what that story is going to do. But I feel like, and I'm okay with this, that this add-on is going to be just kind of like this one-time add-on. I don't know if they'll continue and just keep going Pirates. I really don't want them to. I like the idea it's here because I love Sea of Thieves and I love Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't want them to be like this merging of one thing. I think Sea of Thieves needs to live and be its own, but I like the idea that maybe, because we don't even know how it is, maybe, Sparrow comes in through, for people that have played Sea of Thieves, you're kind of surrounded by this like unpassable barrier. At one point, there is a way to pass through. You have to get this like special thing and put on your ship. I can't remember what it's called, but it'll let you pass through to a special area, and that's how you got through. In fact, how you got to Sea of Thieves was through the special passing. And my hope is that that's what's happening, is this Sparrow's coming in through a passing for out of nowhere, and then he's here, and you have to help him, whatever, and then maybe by the end he leaves or something like that. Like I don't want it to be like a constant thing, but yeah, they're doing a lot of story, and this one they're giving a big Pirates of the Caribbean story part, and we're getting a lot of characters we knew from Pirates of the Caribbean back into it, which is pretty cool. They even give us new areas.
Makes me kind of want to check it out. I didn't know there was like campaign stuff in there, so like that makes me want to check it out too. But I mostly was like, ooh, I wonder if I get to pilot the Black Pearl. That would be really fun.
That's what my buddy was asking. He's like, do we get to fly? Do we get to have the I always forget the name of that damn ship. And even SpongeBob had at one point the one that was like the ghost ship that.
Not the Black Pearl?
No, one of the ghost ships, and I can't remember the name of it now. I always forget the damn name. But like, I don't think you'll get to pilot those as much as you'll see it, because they've already had discussions. They can't do more than 4-player ships. They've tried it in testing, and it just doesn't balance right. And but the surprising one that I think probably caught me by surprise is, did you know that they've been holding the secret since E3 2019?
This DLC?
Yes. They put in they had like a little bit of like tidbits, like an interview that they said they walked out of an interview with Disney, and like two of the head guys were like, oh, look, we gotta do, like, this is gonna be amazing. I can't wait to do this. 2 years they've been holding on to that damn shit. Like, wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's why it comes out in 2 weeks. No, like next week.
The best secret keepers in the industry, I think, based on all the leaks that have happened like right before shows at this E3 already. That's crazy. Especially
since almost day one of Sea of Thieves have been saying, when do we get to do Pirate Caribbean stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
now's the time. Now's the time. And speaking of now's the time, for me, because Psychonauts 2 is coming out. I'm a big fan of Tim Schafer and Double Fine.
How long has it been since Psychonauts 1?
11.
Shit, man. I played it on Game.
Right?
I played it on GameFly's software on like a CRT monitor. So it had to be in like 2006, like before 2010, like 6, 7, 8, maybe. I don't know. It had to be so old.
That has to be the of all the games we've gotten this year, that has to be the biggest gap of return.
I think so.
That's wild.
More so than Rocksmith, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. That's longer. I think that's longer than Microsoft Flight Simulator, because Microsoft Flight Simulator is like 12 years, I think.
Oh, wow. Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's close.
Okay.
Bring it back.
Wow.
Psychonauts is really pushing it. That's a long
yeah.
ways. I think the only thing longer than that's ever come back is Battletoads.
Oh, my goodness.
And Xbox did it.
They did it.
I want to say most of this was developed before the acquisition, but it still kind of looks like they had a little bit of money for polish. Even though it doesn't look like a huge, like a AAA game in the slightest, it still looks like an indie dev pushing themselves to the limit. But
sure,
I'm still excited. I'm really like I it's hard to comment on like the tidbits I've seen when I I really just want to see the creative level design and what Psychonauts is like usually known for. So I just want to see how that goes. The only thing I'm worried about is I guess I'm going to have to watch a video of Rhombus of Ruin because Tim Schafer said that that's actually a part of like the story, and that's the VR only game that came out on PSVR.
Really?
So, you know, now that they're a Microsoft thing, I feel like they should kind of somehow like make that 2D available on Game Pass somehow, because it's supposed to be the second part of the trilogy. But you know, it's Psychonauts. It's coming out soon, and it's gonna be on Xbox Game Pass. So woo! Another one. This isn't like a direct sequel, but it's from the guys that did Left 4 Dead, but Back 4 Blood. You know, I was talking about like there's a ton of games like Rainbow Six Extraction coming out. This is one of them from the OG makers of this type of game, though. And I don't think I would have been too on board until I found out it was on Xbox Game Pass. So that's cool. I remember being excited, but being like, I don't know if I want to pay $60 for this though, because I bought Left 4 Dead 2 for like $10 on Steam. You know, like it would be weird to play 60 for a game like this. But they're like, yeah, Game Pass. I'm like, oh, cool. Sweet. So, and I'm sure a lot more people will try it out because it's on Games Pass. So,
hey, the open beta is the day before my birthday.
So shit!
Can,
dang, happy birthday to you then.
And mess around with that. I hope it's maybe is that couch co-op too? I think just all online.
I don't know. They haven't really said. I know Left 4 Dead.
Co-op, that'd be sick.
Left 4 Dead was on when it came to Xbox 360. I remember playing that couch co-op. So
yeah, definitely. That's why I bring it up. August 5th.
Yeah, and then really quick, a lot of the other things showed. The Outer Worlds 2 we talked about. Replaced was a game that looks kind of. It's got a cool style. It's this 2D slasher platformer that's like kind of 2D 3D mix. One of those things. Looks like steampunkish. Looks really cool, like just aesthetically. I'm down to check that out because that's going to be on Games Pass. Battlefield 2042 was shown, and that's also another trailer that felt like that was capturing the spirit of how people actually play the game, when like the whole thing with like people jumping out of jets and like firing off rockets and jumping back into jets, or like putting C4 on the quads and then running the C4 into a helicopter. It's like that's how you play Battlefield. It's not.
I would say that whoever made that trailer was intelligent, like super amounts of wisdom there, because they went back. They had to have been one of those people that OG, because the bombs on vehicle thing is back from 1942. People used to all the time on launch ramps and throw them into the air they tried to hit jets with those things. Crazy what people did. So I loved seeing that stuff in the trailer. As soon as the guy ejected out, I'm like, he's gonna rocket launcher and get back in. I know this is happening.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Yep, and indeed it did. And like there's crazy weather events and that shit too. Like there's like a huge monster like tycoon or tornado straight up, like sandstorm in Dubai. So that was like crazy.
Yeah. Oh, even though it's a carefully crafted trailer, it still feels like one of the few games that actually feels like just an all-out war. You know, we watch a lot of Call of Duty stuff, and it's PAX. This was like, holy shit, the whole world is at war. Like literally, it was insane how epic in scope.
Yeah, kind of like how Forza and Riders Republic did. They made sure in the trailer to put as many people in the thing as possible, even though in some instances where there was like they were just in a shipping container, and realistically military personnel wouldn't jam in there like that, because it makes you sitting like literally fish in a barrel. But they just wanted to show how many people you could be on screen at one time, and it's going to be like 64 player battles console and 120 on PC,
128 on PC, which
insane.
That's gonna be insane. I don't know if I handle that.
That is insane. I want to see that, but I don't know if I want to play that regularly because it would be too much.
And this, in fact, is not on Game Pass. It's one of the few games.
It's one of the few.
I think it's the first one we're talking about on this press conference. And then Diablo 2, people are disappointed that you have to buy that one.
Yeah, but I'm already surprised that Blizzard let Diablo 2 be on the Xbox thing. Not because there's bad beef, but it's just because they tend to stray away from E3 for the most part, right? And do their own BlizzCon shit. So it's kind of cool that they showed Diablo 2 here, and it looks great. I know a lot of people in my generation, a lot of people I went to high school with, we all played the shit out of Diablo 2. And I think we're all down, even though most of those guys are like, got families and like don't play video games anymore. I think I've heard from a lot of them that were like, we're coming back to play Diablo 2 and we're all gonna, I guess we're doing a high school reunion in Tristram. So, Canyon High School 2004, New Tristram, meet us there. 8-player co-op. That's a new thing. I think that's new from the series. That it's always been 4-player co-op, so that's kind of cool. I'm really excited about that. And they really look like they did their work as far as remaking that thing. So I'm excited for that. And last but not least, the Xbox mini fridge.
I'm excited for that just because the whole meme of the fridge in the first place. And then I guess that spawned from a April Fool's joke thing, and they made a bet against who was that? They made it against someone in tweets, like who can get the most tweets, and they narrowly beat the other company, so they had to make the Xbox mini fridge. Like that was the whole thing.
Are you guys getting it day one?
Oh yeah.
So I'm disappointed because I just moved 5 months ago, and I bought one of the first things I bought was a mini fridge. And,
I have 2 of them.
I know. Maybe. Well, we do have a bar set up, and I'm looking, and I'm like, there is room next to the bar. It would look cool there. And then on the other side of the bar is the TV where the Xbox would be. So it could happen, not day one, but it could. We'll see down the line when it's on sale. Oh, maybe.
You gotta fill that thing with like a bunch of monsters that have Destiny codes in it and stuff.
No. So a buddy of mine brought this up. I didn't think about this. You fill it up with the Halo Infinite cans. Yeah, because that'll be a thing this year. You know it.
Hot Pockets.
Never drink them.
Hot Pockets.
Bunch of Hot Pockets.
All right, so that was what we've seen, what the three of us have seen at E3 so far. As of Monday, 6/14, besides the stuff we're going to talk about later, is mainly Square Enix. There's a lot more E3 to go. Thank you, Moody.
Are we doing whiskeys?
Yeah, oh, yeah. What would you say whiskey-wise for this one? I'll start because it's just an easy 4.75, I'll say. Like, it's even though, like I wish we saw a lot more of everything. I know we're going to get that stuff trickled out. It was just a good hype piece for me, just like a fun compilation of like all the things that are coming to this system that I just bought. So, and they're all coming to Game Pass, and I won't have to spend extra money basically because I bought it for $1 that lasted 3 years, like 2 years ago or whatever. It's so exciting. So many games and so many quality ass games that are coming.
Yeah.
Man, original and returns of like old stuff. So it's really cool, and we're finally seeing the fruits of the Bethesda merger and all the other studios that they bought, the merger of that. So yeah, 4.75. Whatever. I'll be a fanboy for one day. I fanboyed for Sony a lot on this podcast. I'll fanboy for Xbox this one time. What about you, Patrick? What do you give this whiskey wise?
I'll give it 4.75. I'll give it. I'll give them the extra just because if nothing else, I would probably give it like a 4.5 or something, but I'm going to give them that extra quarter because they just blew it out compared to anyone else. Like no one else even wanted to bring hype, and Xbox is like, look, it might be not in person, but we're going to bring it.
We're going to try at least. Like we'll have a stage.
Give it a gold college try.
What about you, Moody?
So if you asked me yesterday, I would have said 4.5. But today it's kind of cheating because I learned a lot about games that I didn't know much about yesterday. And I love them a lot more with the detail. And then also the fact that they announced that there's an extra edition of this. There was a 10-12 minute lull in this show where I was like, oh, don't care. But I'm not just their only audience. But the thing is, if they're gonna have some big boys on the extended show, I kind of maybe wish they kind of flip-flopped the two. Just really, it would have been five whiskeys. I'll go 4.75 though. I think if you want to just count Xbox's just their whole week, why not? I'm gonna just give them the whole week, forget the hour or whatever. Like they're gonna do everything all week. And of course one of the few times they actually murder Sony's not here to take the beating. So it's kind of unfortunate.
That's
but
weird.
I'll take a 4.75. There was little chatter. They were just game, boom, blip, 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 boom. they just nailed it. It was ultra. It was impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the stream on the YouTube app on my Series X, and immediately closed it after it was done, and downloaded the Master Chief Collection, downloaded Forza Horizon. I was like, I want to play all these games again because I'm so hyped. I might be a little bit behind on my Ratchet and Clank because I was playing Forza Horizon 4 last night just for fun, just for the shits of it. It's a really good game, guys, and on optimized for Series X, it's really good. But let us know if you wanted us to talk about party animals or whatever, or like any of the other Xbox.
I was gonna bring that. That party animals looks really freaking fun.
It does.
I mean, it looks so good.
Evo main event.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's basically Gang Beasts, but with more shooting, I think.
Yeah, we actually thought when I saw that, I first actually thought that was Gang Beasts. We're like, oh, this is Gang Beasts, but with animals, and then they're like party animals. Like, wait, what? Like, why isn't this like party Gang Beasts 2?
But they have guns. You could electrocute each other and stuff.
True.
That was a funny trailer. I thought that was funny.
Wow.
But yeah, if there's anything that you wanted us to talk about that we didn't, join the Geekdom Gamescast Facebook group on Facebook. Just in the search bar. I'm not going to give you an URL. This is the 21st century. Just go to the search bar and search Geekdom Gamescast and join the group.
Yeah.
Other than that, you could follow Moody and I on Twitter and such. Patrick, you're at VG Trooper. Am I correct?
Yep.
And you're on that
_Trooper on Twitter and Twitch.
Yeah, and you stream all the time. A lot of Beat Saber stuff, which is really fun, and a lot more stuff recently.
Yeah.
So, until next time, we'll be saving a seat for you in the Warhog turned Razorback. For more E3, tune in later this week. See you guys. Bye.